Well, it can be one of the most nerve-wracking parts of being a parent, talking to your kids about the birds and the bees. But how do you approach the topic of sex without making your child or you feel awkward? Chris Stipes hit the streets for some answers.
Okay, we need to have a talk. I'm sure you have a lot of questions right now. I've seen the way that you're looking at those babies. You probably have questions about where did they come from. It's called the birds and the bees. There was a bird, and then there's some bees. They have pollen, and of course there are eggs. Honey, can you come here for a second? When a man and a woman love each other, love, they give each other what's called a special hug. When your mother and I first got together, it was like, Okay, so you got it?
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
I want to ask you about the birds and the bees. Did you have the talk, and how did it go?
Oh my God. You don't want to say too much. It was really hard to initiate it.
It is daunting. It comes with a job too.
But you don't want to say nothing. It was challenging.
I think he was just as uncomfortable as we as parents were.
More than 40% of kids have sex before the talk with their parents ever happens, according to one study.
I don't think enough parents do have that talk.
And for many children, did your parents talk to you about sex?
No, they didn't.
The sex talk
No, not really. No.
never happens.
Never. No. Never.
No. In fact, not one of the Houston teenagers that we met
Definitely kind of learned it on your own.
got the talk from their parents.
I think for me, mostly it's a cultural thing. Like, nobody talks about it. It's like this taboo thing.
And they're just fine with that. Do you wish your parents had talked to you about it?
No, I feel like that would have been more awkward.
Would have you wanted your parents to open up to you about this when you were younger?
No, not at all. That would be the most awkward conversation of my life.
The stats are staggering. 1 in 3 American teen girls will become pregnant. That's 2,400 a day. 10,000 teens get an STD every period, single period, day, period, in the United States, period.
And one of the things that really shocked me when I came to the US was how dysfunctional adolescent sexual health was in America.
College means sex. College means girls put out.
New York-based filmmaker James Houston spent 4 years making his Let's Talk About Sex documentary.
We don't know how to think about it. We don't know how to talk about it. We don't know where to begin.
It shines a harsh light on the reality of teen sex in America.
You want to start a dialogue, a back and forth dialogue from an early age so that your child is not in the dark, going to find out about their questions about sexuality from the playground, from other kids, or searching online, which ultimately 1 or 2 clicks ends up on a porn site.
But that's exactly what we found. Teens learning about sex everywhere, except from their parents. So how do you learn if your parents don't share it with you?
Definitely the internet or like classes.
Just the internet and friends and stuff like that. Maybe porn.
Sex therapist and author Mary Jo Rapini says the earlier you start talking to your child about sexuality, the better.
I always tell parents, you're putting too much pressure on it. Make it simple.
The information should be age appropriate and accurate. You wouldn't tell a 7-year-old what you tell a 12-year-old. And keep it casual.
When you talk to them about sex, it's not going to make them go out and have sex more.
The problem in this situation is actually the parents, because we're the ones that are holding back the information, thinking that if we give them information, they're going to go out and become sluts.
All the research is showing that basically when parents talk to their child about sex, their child becomes smarter about it. They make wiser choices with partners, and they actually have sex less.
Come on.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Okay, so now you know where babies come from. Any questions? Oh, thank goodness.
Both experts in our story agree that starting early talking about sex is key, even as young as 7, with age-appropriate and accurate information. That was probably a little early with
Not
the baby.
as young as the baby.
She didn't really
Cute
understand.
baby, by the way.
It is. We had a poll on myfoxhouston.com tonight asking people, did your parents give you the talk? 56% so far say the talk never happened, and 29% said the talk happened before they were 12. So it was interesting, but it kind of stood true to what I found on the streets. Nobody got the talk.
Well, I was thinking about when I got the talk was don't do it until you're married.
I never had the talk.
And that was the extent of the talk.
And there's a lot more great information on James Houston's Let's Talk About Sex website. We have a link to that on our website on the Seen on TV section of myfoxhouston.com.
Chris Stipes, thank you.
Sure.